Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we are making some great progress here with the new terrace garden, so I cannot wait for you to join us. I can give you updates. We are going to assemble the Vago modern raised bed garden boxes. I've got 5 of them. I cannot wait to see them put together and up here in the new space. So we're trying to button some things up today because one, Jenny's tired of the construction here at the house because it's been a mess. 2, we're gonna get some rain. So there is a hurricane coming up through the Gulf that's gonna go up through like the central part of the country. Not anywhere close to us, but thankfully we are gonna get some rain from her. Just light rain, but you see all of my lovely red clay that is very dry, and when you add water to it and it turns to red mud. So we want to try to button this up as much as we can today so that when it does rain, the mud stays where it's supposed to stay. Let me give you a little bit of an update. Of course, this has been a massive project where we have completely renovated this whole area. We've talked about this several times. There's a whole playlist devoted to it, so you can check that out. If you've been watching, you probably will notice some big changes, some great things that have been done, and are super excited about it. So Jerry, first of all, you will see him. He is trying to go through here and get the grade correct and dig out some of the soil that was a little bit too high and some gravel just because of construction, right? So we want to get this regraded. This is definitely an area, the driveway, that we want to get squared away before any kind of rain comes, because that red clay does just wash, and when you get red clay and the water, it stains, and we just don't want that. Because we have this beautiful new wall that is in. The wall is finished in the fact of it is what it looks like, but it's not finished in the fact that the caps have not been glued, because we still have to add all of the landscape lighting. So, but we want to come in here and make sure we've got plenty of fresh gravel right here, so when the rains come, that this doesn't splatter up on the wall, because it will stain it. So we'll go down the wall in a little bit. Yesterday, the steps got, quote, completed. Now I know they're not complete, y'all, but the form is there, and you can see what they are going to look like. Andrew got these installed yesterday. The reason that we've kind of put this on hold for right now is we need to get coping. So the coping is that stone that has on the front end is beveled, so it's nice and round. So that kind of goes on the front. So we have a fella coming tomorrow who's going to help us, like, we're going to look at the colors, the different kind of shades of gray, to figure out which one's the best one to do. But you get an idea of what the steps are going to look like. Obviously, we still have to put caps here, right? Again, not going to actually glue those down because we have landscape lighting. The landscape lighting for the steps will be in the steps. And so here we go, up the steps. It's quite lovely and so much easier. Jerry came through today and was working. We're going to go stand over here in the shade. Jerry was working and getting the grade as it's good, right? So a little update. So it's been a while since we've talked here, so let me kind of give you an update, because I forgot. I thought you knew, but you don't know because I haven't told you yet, so I need to tell you. We were going to do the permeable pavers throughout this whole entire patio area set, and I call it the patio because that's where the garden boxes are going to go. We've got 5 of them. They're going to fill up this whole space. It's not a patio in the sense of like a fire pit and all these chairs and all of that kind of stuff. It is a cut flower garden that's going to house those 5 garden boxes. We were putting permeable pavers in, and honestly, you know, this is how it rolls around here at Creekside, is that, one, we got the pavers and got them in the space, and we were like, one, they're super thick because they're meant to be driven on. We just didn't, for whatever reason, we didn't realize how thick they were. The color, we were just kind of like, the color was okay. And then of course the manpower and the labor to put all this in. So we've kind of pivoted. We've changed our minds. Imagine that. Here at Creekside, we changed the plans. So the garden boxes are going in the exact same way that we said they were. I had the diagram, so we know exactly where they're being placed. And so what we're doing though is Jerry no matter what we were doing, put down a layer of the washed stone. So this is gonna aid, of course, in that drainage. It purely is stone. There's no little fines in it. It is just that. So he came through and tamped it with, we'll see in a minute, but over there is the machine that just compacts it and kind of smooshes everybody down. We're gonna go ahead and assemble the garden boxes and get them where they are supposed to go. You can see the brown tubing, that's the drip irrigation, so that way they'll come up through the boxes. And then once the boxes are installed and we have the soil in them, we are going to go ahead and just put down some decorative pea gravel. It's gonna make life so much easier. Also, I did not even think about this. You know, some things you just don't think about. But when we're building the wall and we're up here, it was the one week that it was incredibly hot. It was like the upper 90s. And Andrew was like, this is going to be the hottest garden. He said, I hope you're gonna have some really heat-loving plants. Because of the wall and then the patio is just gonna be incredibly hot. So that's another reason to go with the gravel, so it will cool it down just a little bit. The plants, I think, would have been just perfectly fine because I'm doing those hot weather loving cut flowers, you know, sunflowers, zinnias, cosmos, that kind of thing in the summertime. So we're going with the decorative pea gravel. I think it'll give it a softer look. It will certainly expedite this whole project by probably like 2 weeks, honestly. And so it will go faster. We are not, the pavers are not going to waste. Either Site 1 will either take them back or we will use them on another project at the nursery where we have a walkway going in. So we just pivot around here. So what we want to do today, like I said, is to simply assemble the boxes and get them placed in their location. We're not gonna add soil today because I just wanna sit on it. So there you go. It still will be completely permeable. This whole area will be permeable. That water will just go through it, and there you go. So the pavers are out. Now, what Jerry is doing is still working on the grade and all the things, getting all that squared away. Where Brenna just walked out, this stays open, and we're gonna have some sort of little landing pad right here. So this will be the main space of where we walk through. When we come through and you walk through up and all the right here, this is where we're going to put steps in. And like when I say the steps, it's gonna be like large stone pieces. It's not gonna be the little individual pavers. So it'll be much more natural looking, kind of going up through there, because I have to have a way to walk up to the chicken coop. People were asking, like, how do I get, you know, that's my walking path. Well, how do you get supplies and all that kind of stuff up there? Well, behind the Green Giants, there's a road. So I can take Johnny up there. The Bobcat can go up there. A car could go up there. We wanted it to. So there's a road that goes behind the Green Giants, behind the fig tree, and goes up there. So that's where all of the machinery traffic that goes through. The foot traffic will go up the steps through the patio, and this way. So that's what the update is with that. And then the other thing that we want to do today is to get all of this soil situation taken care of, because behind the retaining wall, we're going to have a 3-foot flower bed coming off. So this area will still all be grass. It is completely destroyed right now, and that's totally fine because we have fescue grass, and in the fall, that is when you plug it, you aerate your soil, you reseed, and you do all that. So that's why we have to get this project done before we reseed the grass in October, which we're right on schedule. So that 3-foot bed will run the entire length of where Jerry's making the dust bowl. That's how dry it is, y'all. All the way down, and then we're gonna cut in and extend the cottage garden some, cut in, and then there you go. And I think we're gonna have the bed go on the other side of the little pathway and then curl around kind of where Brenna is over there. We have got some very exciting, lovely plants from our friends at Southern Living Plant Collection. They contacted me and they're like, hey, it's fall in the South. We've got some plants. Would you like some? And Jenny said, yes, please and thank you. So they are going to be coming within the next couple of weeks. We will be adding them into both here and then behind the wall back here. So very excited, very appreciative for the folks at Southern Living Plant Collection. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff that's going to be coming, so that's going to be cool. So what we're going to do is let Jerry continue to work. You can see, let's kind of bebop down here. He is continuing to smooth out that gravel with the bobcat. I tell you, this man is a genius on machinery. He can just smooth it out, get all the lumps and bumps out, and take care of that. And then I think things could change, but I think we're ready to go ahead and start assembling the garden boxes. So our friends at Vago Garden were so kind to, this has been in the works since the winter time. I remember being curled up under all the covers, emailing our friends at Vago about this whole project. So what we have here are 5 of the, I'm not sure how the camera's gonna pick up on this, but it's the 32-inch extra tall modern raised garden beds. They're 42 inches wide, 83 inches long, and so they are in the midnight blue. There's 5 of them. We're gonna go ahead and get those put together and placed in the new terrace garden. Cannot wait to see these together. So exciting. Alrighty, my friends, the 5 raised beds are in. Now, I'm gonna tell you this right now, so just pipe down on the comments, okay? They are not perfectly level, and they are not perfectly in place. Trust me, when we fill them with soil, we get them in their final resting place, y'all, they're gonna be perfectly level and they're gonna be perfectly spaced from one another. So I don't wanna hear it in the comments. It is 5:15 and Janine's getting a little chippy. So I'm just trying to go ahead and set the expectations. Minus them being not in the exact perfect location and perfectly level, they look amazing, and I am super excited about it. Here we go. So you can see coming in, the first one is going to be dead center of the steps, right? So it will be completely dead center. I have already, you know me, I have already ordered this gorgeous obelisk that is going to go in the center of this box. Because it is dead center literally of the steps in the entire space, it will be completely dead center. That obelisk will be completely dead center of the patio area. And then I'm going to put a rose in it. To be determined exactly which one I'm going to put in it, but I am going to put a rose, either just a shrub rose or a small climber, like from Proven Winners, one of the Rise Up series. It all just depends on what I have and what I can get, but I have a couple of options. Just know that a rose will go in that obelisk. So let me pop on up here and show you. The boxes were extremely easy to put together. Vago does an amazing job with the simplicity of putting these guys together. We literally only needed a screwdriver and then a mallet, and the mallet was simply to pop the little corner cover pieces in place. Other than that, you can use an electric, we used the drill, but you certainly could use a screwdriver. Super easy to put together. So basically, remember, these are 42 inches wide and 83 inches long, and they are 32 inches tall. They are the extra tall, so if you can, we can see it basically comes right below my hip because I wanted that height, because as I was telling my people, Jenny's not getting any younger and it kills my back to bend over, and these are going to be here for a very long time. So we're thinking ahead, and I wanted to get the nice tall ones so that it makes working in these garden boxes super easy. So with the 42 by 83, you have 6 panels that are all the exact same size. So you don't have to worry about it. You've got 2 on each side and then 1 on the ends. The corner pieces are so easy because they just simply slide in. So there's little channels, they just slide right in, and then you come down and you screw everybody in. And I'm sitting here looking, and this one does not have screws right here. So we gotta fix that. So there's not screws right there, so we need to come back in and add those screws. But so they just slide in, and then the center panels, right, because you got to join them together, nice and flush on the outside, and then on the inside, here we'll go to this one. You can see again, they just simply slide in from each side, and then to keep them nice and square so they don't bow out, you then add in the 2 support braces. So this keeps it all nice and tight. I mean, so easy. The irrigation, you can see that Jerry did a great job. They pop up right there in the box. It doesn't matter where they are in the box, we just needed to have access. So of course this is the solid brown tubing. We will connect that and then bring that up so that the whole box has drip irrigation. The one in the center is perpendicular to the walls, whereas the 2 on on each side, of course, run horizontal with the walls. You can see the irrigation popping up there. Now, for those of you that are curious, 3 feet exactly. So we have 3 feet, 3 feet, and then 3 feet here. This is why we could not put the, well, it was a couple of reasons. Why we did not put the unique stone urns and pedestals back here is because it just wasn't enough room. Remember, we had to shorten this a little bit because that back wall we couldn't dig out anymore because the wall was going to be too high. We chose not to do that. So in order to have the urns and the pedestals here, it would have been really tight, and there was no way to space it out where it would look correct. And so we just left it. Also, I think putting those urns back in here on those pedestals, they were going to look too small. We needed to have something bigger here for that. And then honestly, you're going to have so many gorgeous flowers being displayed in these boxes that you're not going to miss those urns whatsoever. There is 4.5 feet between on this center one. So this has 4.5 feet, like Brenna just walked by, plenty of room. And then I want to say there's going to be 5 feet will be between the center box and then these guys. So again, you've got plenty of room to walk around here. You can see, yes, that the irrigation is showing. Y'all, we'll bury that down there. No worries, you're not going to see it. Plus, we're going to have the pea gravel going on top. So there you go. It's popping out. Everybody has the irrigation popping out. And then we have 5 feet from the box to the wall. So there's 5 feet here. Plenty of room to come in and maneuver, and works really well. We did get the color. This is the midnight blue, which I love. I knew that we were going to get this color, and it works really well, I think, with the stone wall, and just gorgeous colors. I just cannot wait to see these, you know, kind of quote, perfectly leveled. Like you can tell, like that one, it's a little janky over there. So we got to straighten it out. But we were doing this, you know, after lunch, and even right now it's, you know, 5:30 and the sun is setting and getting me. But yeah, that's not the time to come up here and put metal boxes together, because they got hot really fast. And then you're in the full sun. So we actually took all of the boxes, assembled them down in the garage, and then carried them up. We had four people. It was perfect to come in here and pick them up. Mary Claire was laughing and said we looked like we were carrying, like we were pallbearers and we were carrying a coffin, but it worked perfectly. It was a little awkward because you want to make sure you keep them straight so they don't get too warped, but they were not that heavy. If you try to pick up by yourself, obviously, well, one, you can't because it's just too awkward, but it would be too heavy. But for 4 people, I mean, it worked out great. So we are loving this. We are so excited. I'm going to interrupt and just digress. This is what you get when you get Jenny at the end of the afternoon. She chases squirrels all the time. Remember how we talked about on this green giant right here, and it has where the lower petalum was growing, and there's a hole, and we're going to end up probably putting a large unique stone planter right here, and then of course all this is going to get landscaped, so don't worry about that. But one of you smarties, one of you cutie patooties out there and out on the internet said, you know what, Jenny, why don't you put a bird feeder or something, or wind chimes or something in the tree in the meantime? And I was like, you know, I do love my birds. And you know, we took down the crepe myrtle, and that did have some feeders on the crepe myrtle. I've since put them in other areas, but I was like, you know what, those birds loved having a feeder close by. So yesterday, oh yeah, I don't know if you can see, because it might be too dark, but in the tree I have, it's probably about like right there, it is one of the large cakes. Yep, I think that was a little tufted titmouse that was in there. And so, of course, we have squirrels and raccoons. So I have to buy the hot pepper, the hot pepper cakes. So I put it up here yesterday, and the birds are loving it. I've seen cardinals, I saw the titmouse, all sorts of things. But so if you are a bird lover like I am, a big cage, right? So that's that wire cage. And then, you know, I'm a big fan of the feed from Wild Birds Unlimited. This is the hot one. These are the hot cakes. So it's hanging, and then you might notice even that I have some hooks on the cage. That is not for security that the birds, you know, or anything like with the birds. It is to keep the raccoons, because the raccoons, even though, like, before they discover that it's cayenne pepper, they will throw it to the ground and then try to open it up. So if I put the little hooks on it, they can't figure the hooks out, and then they leave it alone. Let me show you, let me pop up here at the top and let's look down. I haven't seen that yet. All right, so here we are. We've got the fig tree right here. We've got the firelights. We were just right here at the tree. Here comes my little companion. She says, Mama, what you doing? So here we go. So this whole bed right where Brenna is going to be, you know, it's not gonna be new flower beds because technically it was here before, but we're gonna completely rework it. But there you go. This is what it looks like from up here. Garden box, that one, y'all. Whew, man, that is, she is lopsided, so we will definitely fix her. But yeah, imagine this in the springtime. I think I have 7 or maybe even 9 different tulips and daffodils we're gonna mix together and completely fill these boxes. So in the springtime, it is going to be absolutely stunning. I got 700 yellow tulips to go along the wall at the driveway. So we're gonna have that. And then in the summertime, we're gonna have zinnias and cosmos and sunflowers and all the things, all the gorgeous flowers will be in these boxes. And because they are tall boxes, they're going to be tall as well. Not that I'm getting, like, I'm not getting the tall cosmos. I'm getting, I did get miniature, like short cosmos. So they're in that 3-foot range. So don't worry, it's not gonna be 20-foot bed or anything, but it'll be substantial, and you're going to be able to see these from a distance. So we are so excited. A huge shout out to Vago for Brenna found a rock, she's playing. A huge shout out to Vago for these gorgeous boxes. Cannot wait to see them filled with beautiful flowers come the springtime. It's going to be so much fun. But if you're interested in these boxes, they come in all different sizes, like heights. If you don't need a giant coffin size one, there's different configurations, all sorts of different things. I will put a link in the video description so that you can go check out Vago's website and look and see all the different options on these modern garden beds. Love it so much. All right, my friends, it's that time of day. Time of day where you're ready for a cold glass of water and a hot shower, for sure. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.